That's awesome.
No. No is not fucking awesome. The following announcement, or the following song that will be played, does not convey the same views as everybody on this panel. Only one person, it seems like, actually believes this. Because the wrestling fan base does not believe any of what the song is going to say. So if you are deeply offended by this, we here at the Good Old Wrestling Panel says, it doesn't matter what you think.
You're all dead wrong about The Rock. WrestleMania wasn't his fault. The people to blame are quite obvious. You got the so-called greatest of all time, the 17-time world champion, the guy that carried the company on his back for a decade. Then you got his quote-unquote spiritual successor, the face of the company, Mr. Popularity despite getting booed. And finally the game, top booker, Hall of Fame. They were given 6 weeks to come up with a good finish. They shouldn't need The Rock. They should be more than capable themselves. But everyone still wants to give Dwayne hell. The man who was robbed of his match with Roman, a match that now may never take place, just so they could put a smile on Cody's face. And then Cena exposed himself, not able to carry Rhodes. He needed some overrated rapper no one knows. But hey, let's blame Rock. Sure, he could have appeared, but just because he didn't, he doesn't deserve the campaign smear. You had 3 of the biggest names in the business, and they absolutely failed. They all stink, and Rock was the one who didn't smell. If you catch the aroma of what I'm cooking, there should have been way better booking. You're all dead wrong about.
Where's my Grammy?
Wow, man. Round of applause to Mr. Suno. Because god damn, that actually went hard actually.
Yeah, those were my lyrics. That was just the Suno that, it just generated all that together. That was great. I got to start making some songs.
That was superb. My
Yeah.
goodness.
That was just 5 minutes of me writing stuff down, and I just popped it in there, and it generated in 30 seconds. Well, I had to generate it 4 times to get the right style of music, but wow.
That was holy hell. Ah. What a way to kick things off here for the WrestleMania 41 recap episode of Good Old Wrasslin. A way better start than WrestleMania 41 actually had.
Oh
See?
yeah. Oh god.
Oh
That
man, wow.
was a terrible match.
And not only was that a terrible main event, but good lord, WrestleMania 41 as a whole. Oh boy, if I had to spend the amount of money that those tickets went for, I got a show like that, I would be very upset.
Oh yeah. Did you see that video of some fans? They met Randy Orton like in a hotel lobby, and they were telling him all the prices that they had to pay to go see WrestleMania. And Randy, he looked shocked at how much. She said she spent like $5,000 just on like the tickets and stuff, and he was speechless. He said that's way too high.
If Randy Orton himself is saying that's way too high, perhaps there's a problem here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But you know what's funny, Shifty? We must be living in the right timeline again, because you want to know why?
Why?
NXT had the better show than the main roster this week. Stand and
Yeah.
Deliver was way better than WrestleMania as a whole. What the actual fuck happened?
Well,
Good
that's how it
grief.
that's how it used to be. And NXT would have the better show, and then
I know.
things shifted, and then we're back in the original timeline. What happened?
Oh man, I know, that was crazy. Those last 2 years was like really crazy. Or last 2-3 years were crazy. Like we were just out of the fucking timeline all of a sudden. The next thing you know, we're back to the same old norm. NXT's back ruling over the wrestling industry. Chef Sean is cooking in the kitchen. And I'm telling you, Sean's just hoarding all the female talent because, like, listen, I just want to make an all-female roster and just make an all-female show. Because that's all Sean wants to do. Just let him do it. Let him do it.
I wouldn't be against that at all. I don't think Booker T would be either.
No, Booker T, especially with Stephanie Vakir. Oh my God, that man would faint.
Yeah.
You
Speaking of women fainting, what about that woman that got ran over by that 4-wheeler? Did you see that horrible accident?
Oh my God, that was crazy. Okay, so listen, I know that the woman's okay, so it's at least now I can laugh about it. The fact that it just happened out of nowhere.
Well, we thought that. Did you see the video before the video where he was backstage? He missed the up ramp. For some reason, it wasn't steering right, and he veered off to the right. He missed the up ramp to get up on the stage, and they had to chase after him, and he had to slowly back it up, and he took it another shot to get up the up ramp onto the stage, and then he came flying down, and I guess it wasn't turning. It was veering to the right, so that's why he hit the barrier there. So there was something messed up on the bike.
It just came out. It comes out of nowhere because at first you're like, oh my God, he's going way too fast, and you're like, oh okay.
Yeah,
they run to the barricade. I'm like, he's drunk or something's going on. I'm like, oh my God, he's killing fans. What is going on?
The steering was messed up on it.
Imagine paying that crazy amount of money for a seat like that to get run over by the 4-wheeler of Steve Austin. Now,
that might have been
experience.
Yeah, that might have been the green shirt guy's girlfriend or something, because she was sitting right next to him.
Good. That honestly, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible that he has a girlfriend.
I mean, it is possible. I mean, if this man can go, he's got that riz, man. He's always got to be like.
I don't know.
This is
he got his own entrance. They said he paid
it's crazy.
six figures. They said he paid 6 figures to walk down behind Wade Barrett.
What? No. How much
That's
money
what
does
they
this
said.
guy have? Like,
I don't know. He could be a Saudi. He may like shave his beard off. We don't know.
oh fuck, you may be right. That
Yeah,
would go crazy.
yeah,
Oh, Jesus. So if and also that Steve Austin thing happened before the main event, so maybe that was a really big warning sign that maybe, just maybe, the main event wasn't going to be very good. But
it wasn't just not very good. That was the worst main event of all time.
it was the drizzling shits. But before we talk about the drizzling shits, that was the main event. I figure, you know what? I want to do something different. Instead of a typical review where we just go down, the matches, whatever, talk about it. Because, you know what? This is part 2 of the rant, all right? I figured let's start with what we did like about WrestleMania 41. And I'm just going to say it right now, the women's triple threat, awesome. Probably the best match of the entire weekend.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. That and Dom winning the belt. And then after the match, he was backstage, and he just happened to pass Scott Steiner. And he said, "Hey, get this on camera. Hey, look who's got the belt. Hey!" And Scott Steiner's like, "You effing punk! I'll effing get you. You effing yeah." And he's like, "Hey, I got the belt."
And then Scott Steiner's got a lead pipe, and he's about ready to beat people's brains in because he saw Braun Breaker lose, and then he starts spouting off about why he hates Samoa Joe or something.
Hey, he don't need to do any of that now because he's a Paul Heyman guy.
Well, that's true, but at the same time, he also is really just angry about Samoa Joe. Why are you mad about Samoa Joe, Scott? I don't fucking know.
He's fat.
He's fat. Scott, you can't say that in the state. He's fat. All right, Scott, it's fine. Scott, please just calm down. Listen, we know Braun Breaker lost the belt, but you don't got to flip. He's fat. All right,
fat asses.
Fat asses. That fat ass. Oh my god, fucking Scott Steiner. I love Scott Steiner. He's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dom winning and that match was cool. Braun Breaker's spear through the announce table. Good God.
Yeah, there might have been some. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Vasco, what's up?
Yeah. Hey, we finally got somebody in the audience here. That's cool.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I did. I might have missed some good stuff. I might have missed some bad stuff. There were points during this WrestleMania more often than usual. I just fell asleep. It was kind of dull at some points over the course of the 2 nights. I just conked out. Actually, I fell asleep in the second match. I don't even remember what that was. The night 1. Jay had just won the title.
I think it was the tag title match as the second match.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that.
You're better off not watching it. It was literally it was like a Monday Night Raw match.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we all predicted that Big E would come back. He didn't. He did not.
Of course not. Why would they?
No. Hey, speaking of Big E, his co-host, he's doing the backstage stuff with Kathy Kelly. Word is that she's training to be a manager or a wrestler. So that's really cool news because, she needs more TV time, if you know what I'm saying.
Please, God, let Kathy Kelly be involved somewhat. Please, I'm begging. If there's a God and he's alive, please do this for me.
That'll be sad though if she gets more TV time than Bayley because, man, Bayley got screwed.
Well, so you know what, we're gonna talk about that too because I didn't touch on that. I touched on it maybe briefly during the actual rant, but I didn't go into detail. But we'll say that why I don't like the show. So Dom winning was cool. The Braun Breaker spear through the announce table, the air time on that, good grief. Like that.
Yep.
I'll tell you, that man's a freak of nature. And if you don't put the world title on him, you're fucking stupid.
And the main event of night 1 was pretty decent.
Yeah,
I think it was. I think we all figured that Seth was going to win
yeah.
and going to go with Heyman. I mean, that's the only thing that could have. I mean, because if you think they kept on mentioning, and we knew going in it was 10 years that he pulled a swerve and cashed in on Roman and Brock at WrestleMania 31. So I mean, something had to happen like that. He had to come out on top.
The one key thing I did like about the match wasn't even really the match itself, but I really liked CM Punk's like promo like package before during
Oh
his
yeah,
entrance.
the old theme
Where
music.
the old theme music and like kind of intertwining like his current self and his like old self with like the first promo he did. I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit, that was really cool. And then of
it
course you got Living Color coming out doing the song, and I'm
it
like,
was also
man, it's like
it was
2013 never left.
yeah, it was also cool that the crowd. I don't know if you saw they were singing his old theme music when it was playing on the video package. That was really neat.
That was very neat.
Yeah.
What else did I like? Oh, the Drew McIntyre Damian Priest match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
when you hear the match, you're like, oh god, really? Is this what you're gonna have Drew McIntyre do? But the fact that Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest pulled a pretty good match out of a pretty nothing build for the most part,
I think
I'm
it's
impressed.
I think it's the fact we always tend to underrate how good Damian Priest is. Even
Yeah,
he didn't have the best title run, but he's a lot better than what people give him credit for.
no,
And
I absolutely agree. Yeah,
I hate that he left the Judgment Day. I wish everybody else left the Judgment Day and he kept it and he formed a new Judgment Day, because so much cool stuff was lost in the process. And the Judgment Day, as we've said before, the moniker and like the music and stuff does not fit the current group. They should just rebrand themselves. I just they could have had two groups come out of this whole split, but yeah,
you
it just
know,
seems like Priest is lost right now, kind of.
yeah, and him losing to Drew probably doesn't help.
No.
But there was one spot that, like, because I was watching with my dad and my brother, and me and my dad, because like he does the future shock on Damian Priest on the steps, and it looked like Drew
Uh-huh.
McIntyre got the worst of it, and we were both like, so how does this really hurt Damian Priest here? I mean, like Drew McIntyre gave his spine for the business, and
Yeah.
and then you see Damian Priest kick out, and you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, because that pretty much hurts whoever. That hurts Drew more. And then you had then they had a few table spots, and Drew being a troll like always. He does like the post, and he posts on X, he's like, still bored at work, LOL. And then he wins. And of course, we have Drew McIntyre with, the Doom Slayer entrance, which I thought was interesting. Very interesting plug, I guess. And then you had and then yeah, I think it was Slayer that played Damian Priest in the ring too, which I thought was like, oh shit, that was cool. Um I So the first three matches on WrestleMania Night 2 was very good, I would
Yep.
say. And then going to night 1, the triple threat main event was good. I think we touched on that. Well, I might touch on that in a sec, but the Jacob Fatu LA Knight match, not bad.
Yeah.
I
Not
was
bad.
impressed.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff.
Jacob Fatu won. That was the right call. The
Yep.
BFT off the moonsault, I thought looked cool. You know what? I was impressed. I said, you know what? If nothing else, good on. LA Knight was getting booed too. Like a lot of people were cheering for Jacob, which honestly very deserved, because Jacob Fatu rules.
Yep.
But props to both guys. Probably one of the better matches of the show. I thought Jade and Naomi was okay.
Yeah. I thought that was really kind of good. I mean, I was surprised how good that actually turned out.
Yeah,
She wasn't. She. I mean, it did have a couple of rough spots, but I don't think she looked as bad as some people were expecting. I think she's coming into her own. Uh, of course, she was carried by a veteran there, but we'll have to see what she does in the future. I'm sure at some point she's going to go up against Bianca probably by SummerSlam. We'll just have to see.
Oh, absolutely. And one thing that we haven't touched on, the fact that Roman came out in something that wasn't black and red. Oh my God, this man finally got some new gear finally. Well, he still has the same pants, but you know what? At the same time, he's wearing white and he's not wearing red. So you know what? Good on you, Roman, for investing some money into some new gear. But yeah, the triple threat was cool. You had some cool little Easter eggs in there, and then Paul Heyman kicks both Roman and Punk in the dick, and Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker are now Paul Heyman guys.
Yeah, I also like that there was no Ice Speed in a bottle suit this year. I think he was there the last 2 or 3 years, dressed up as a Prime bottle, and he interfered with Logan Paul's match the last couple of years, and he wasn't there this year, which is good.
It's a nice change up.
Yeah.
As you can tell, we're not going to.
He's afraid to come back though after Braun at the Rumble. What happened to him?
Well, yeah. Braun Breaker splits you in half with a spear. I don't think I'd want to be anywhere near the business after that one.
But yeah, of course, they just blew the gates wide open on that for kayfabe Wabs because they were. That's one of the prime moments in this advertisement for Triple H's new show. Unreal, where they take a deep dive into the creative process of the WWE, and they show a clip of the Performance Center or the arena that day earlier at the Royal Rumble, and they're actually practicing that spot where ISO Speeds is standing there, and you see Braun running back and forth, and they're practicing it. So he got speared quite a few times, supposedly, not just on the show.
Can this company not ruin kayfabe?
I don't know. It's crazy. I need to dig through the archives and see what Jim Cornette, if he had a rant about that, because I'm sure he has.
Yeah, he probably has thoughts. As you can tell, guys, we're not actually going to go. We're not breaking down the matches tonight. We're just going to talk about the show, and we're just going to vent about it because, I think we talked about all the good things. Now let's talk about all the things that fucking sucked.
Before we get to that, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Congratulations. You beat me for the Picks Championship. Me and Rome's tied. I think we both got 17, and you got 19. So you are our current Picks champion.
First ever 2-time, baby. 2-time champion.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of them, we all picked the same answer, so we didn't really diversify our stuff, so that's why, not a lot of them counted. So I need to figure out how to correct that next time. I don't know how, but yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm the 2-time champion. I was in transitional champion to Shifty, and he's the transitional champion to me. So, is there a story building? No, because you get nothing.
I just feel like maybe I'm the Sasha Banks to your Charlotte Flair right now.
You know what? That is a good point.
Yeah.
That could be happening. Now let's get back to what sucked about the show. And good God, let's start with night one.
Let's start with the opening. The opening from that UFC guy. He's a terrible voiceover. Dana White. That was just he's not a good public speaker. That was bad.
That was very bad. And that's you had the opener of Gunther and Jay, which
wow.
Oh boy. Well, I'll say this: it was better than the Jay and Jimmy match last year.
Well, not if you're a Gunther fan. They buried the fuck out of that guy. They could have at least had him, to where he passes out, but he immediately tapped out. He was like tap 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 tap.
I did not like that whatsoever. Like, I understand the comparisons of, oh, but Ilya Dragunov made Gunther tap out. Are we really going to compare the Ilya and Gunther match at TakeOver to fucking whatever this was? Like, come
Yeah,
on.
man, it's so disappointing. Where they took his character on Monday, which is kind of cool, but I don't. The cool thing about Gunther was he was just so confident, and he was just a confident ass kicker, and now he's put into like a rage mode. But I don't know. They're kind of making him out to be like, I guess, kind of like Brock and unstable right now, but. It's just messing up his character. That he should not have been the one to drop the title to Jay. They man, oh man, I think Jay was the wrong choice. I know his entrance was hot, and he was popular. The Yeet thing was popular, but I think maybe I don't know. He shouldn't have been up in a title match this year. Maybe later down the road, that somebody else should have faced Gunther.
Yeah, and I also suspect that Jay's not going to be the champion very long.
No,
He's more than likely dropping the belt to Seth Rollins or Braun Breaker or somebody, because I just don't see Jay holding that belt for a lengthy amount of time here. Like, he'll hold it for maybe a month or two, but I think that's as long as it's going to go, unfortunately. The match itself wasn't very good. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it was just kind of like a paint by numbers, like, it's okay. And then you get to the finish, and the finish was just a complete why. Like, that was just a boneheaded move, boneheaded decision to start the show off. And then you had the tag title match, which, I'm sorry, let's call it for what it was. It was basically a Raw or SmackDown match. This did not need to be on the show. I mean,
they're both good teams, but I mean,
yes.
I didn't see the match, so
Yeah, there just wasn't any real story behind it. And plus, the fact they were going to do a triple threat TLC match on SmackDown tonight and not do it on WrestleMania, I just think is way too bizarre to me. Like, again, it wasn't bad. It was just a situation where if I watched this on a Raw or SmackDown, it'd be better, but not on a WrestleMania card.
yeah.
You had we had the El Grande Americano match with Rey Fenix. Again, it was a fun match, but why the fuck we bring Rey Fenix in to WrestleMania and have him lose? That was just a boneheaded decision. I understand it's the Lucha Libre legend El Grande Americano, but the fact that El Grande Americano was on the card and not Chad Gable makes me sick.
Yeah. 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 I think, that was weird. But I mean, I think the weirder thing was WWE bought AAA. That's way out of left field.
That was very weird. I don't
And
like it.
the announcement, there were some unhappy campers that was standing around the booth. They had all the luchadors out there. They had Stephanie Vakir, who was not happy because I think AAA took the side of her abusive ex recently in some sort of dispute they had before she came to WWE. And who's got married to Charlotte? They just got divorced.
Andrade, I believe.
Andrade, yes. Andrade is a lifelong CMLL wrestler, and he was not happy about standing up there promoting AAA because they're the feuding companies in Mexico. So he was also not happy about it, and I think he's probably going to ask for his release. He may go back to AEW, which he wanted to leave AEW, but he's maybe crawling back to AEW now. He got the runaround, man, between the divorce and this announcement here.
Yeah, big rough time for Andrade.
And now they're thinking about rebranding the company into NXT Mexico. That's effed up. Just call it AAA. Just keep it AAA.
Yeah, just keep it AAA. There's no reason to. Don't do that, because once you do that, no. Gross bad. It's not very
And
good.
you know what? And they did that because supposedly AEW has a partnership with CMLL, and they somebody posted a graphic on X to showing like every move that AEW does, WWE counters them with another league. Like AEW bought ROH, so WWE partners up with TNA. AEW partners up with New Japan, so WWE partners up with All Japan, or back and forth, and it's I don't know. It's like the WWE thinks that they got to do the same thing AEW is doing.
It seems like it. And all the tribalistic weirdos are going to look at this and be like, whoa, my God, there's a war going on. Oh,
Yeah.
my God. It's, yikes.
Yikes.
Yeah, so the El Grande Americano match is kind of like a whatever, like why. And then we get to the women's championship match between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair.
Well, one thing though, it sucks though that Chad Gable he never did make it to WrestleMania.
I know, it's fucked up.
I thought he was going to make, and he was at some toy shop the other day. He was like, he said it's really crappy that I've been here for like 12 years, and then some guy who's only had 2 matches, he gets a spot at WrestleMania, and I'm sitting here just not doing anything. I didn't get my spot at WrestleMania. Hopefully next year he finally gets his due, but that was messed up.
Yeah, fuck it. That's such bullshit. And fuck El Grande Americano for stealing Chad Gable's spot. That would have been
Justice
Chad Gable in that spot. Yeah, justice for Gable. Fuck that El Grande guy.
Yeah.
Pissing me off. Who does he think he is? A Lucha Libre legend?
Yeah.
Tisk.
Oh, I forgot to mention you were transitioning to the Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair match. Let me tell you something. For my money, and I think Tiffany Stratton had the best entrance of WrestleMania with those video screens. It was totally lifted from that one NSYNC video. I should know the name of it. I can't think of it, but it was from that NSYNC video. But it was also from Barbie. It was supposed to play on Barbie. That was great. Because it was like, whoa, which one's Tiffany? That was nice. It was a good entrance.
That was very cool.
That's what I'm saying.
The entrance was the best part about the match because wow, that match stunk. Yeah, the entrance was good. Yeah, the match stunk. By the way.
Those two just don't get along.
It wasn't great. No, they couldn't get along. The chemistry wasn't there. It was very clunky, very messy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things that were just like, as far as a match goes, it just wasn't really well thought out, really well put together. I'm glad Tiffany won because there was a big part of me that going, oh God, please don't let Charlotte win. Please don't let Charlotte win. Please don't let Charlotte win. Then she didn't win, and I'm like, oh, thank God she didn't win. She didn't win. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, that was a nothing match.
Yeah, and there was a couple of spots where I saw a video where it seemed like both of them had such long hair and stuff that the hair got in the way of both of them trying to pull off some moves. I mean, it was weird. They were trying to spin each other around, but their hair got in the way. I don't think I've ever seen hair disrupt a match before, but it didn't right in that one. So that's a first.
Somehow it did.
Yeah, somehow it did.
It was just a complete. It's disappointing because Charlotte and Rhea from 39 was great.
Yeah.
And I was at least hoping like, okay, these two may hate each other, but I'm hoping they're professional enough to at least give us a really good match. Like this was a match that could have been really good, and then the match happened, and I was like, wow, I'm very disappointed by this. Like, this was just not a good. I mean, I don't really. It's one of those things where I think there's just a lot of factors to it. I think Charlotte, because she was out for so long with the injury, and I think this is like her first singles match since coming back, and the two just don't like each other. Like it didn't have a lot going for it, unfortunately, and it just did not work.
Yeah, that and the fans were on her ass really bad this time when she came back. I mean, they
Yeah.
were really giving her crap online, and I might have said some negative stuff about her too. But these people were really nasty towards her online, and yeah, she was doing some promotional interviews on some talk shows and stuff, and you could see she's very emotional right now, just over her injury and her place in the company and the divorce, and she's not, her head just isn't in a good spot, it seems, right now.
Yeah. So that probably didn't help either. So it's
No,
it was a damn shame.
yeah.
Damn shame. We talked about the first three matches we already talked about, so I'm not really going to comment on those matches on night two because we both liked them.
Well, I do have a rant. I do have a rant.
Okay.
This is the second biggest rant of the weekend. A lot of people on X and on social media, they're trying to make out a case that Bianca Belair is getting booed because of her skin color, and they were making that case all weekend because why is she getting booed? Why is she getting booed? And every time I saw that, I try to pop in and say, "Did you even watch the build up? She's the reason Rhea, the most popular female wrestler in the company, she's the reason why she lost the title because she was sitting outside ringside." And she got into it for Rhea, and it should have been a disqualification. And that was one of the reasons why she lost the title. So they made her out to be a villain in the situation, not a hardcore villain, but she was the reason why the favorite lost the belt to Io. And I think even the next match, she was the guest referee during the rematch, and something happened to where the face of the women's division did not get her belt back. So it was written into the storyline that she was the one that should be getting some shade, and everybody's trying to say that it's a race factor, and I don't think so. I think it's just
No.
that's just how the story was written, and yeah.
Because the thing is, Bianca Belair, I know people want to go, oh, she's overrated. No,
I
Bianca
love
Belair
her.
she's great. I love Bianca
Yeah,
Belair. She's
I do
very
too.
talented, and I
Hmm.
agree with you. She was getting booed because of how they presented her in this build-up.
Yeah,
Like, I'm sorry, when you're showing heelish things, you're gonna be booed like you're a heel. Like, that's just how it works. Like, I mean, and let's face it, the story going into it, Io Sky was really the baby face here, whereas Rhea and Bianca were being, you know,
yeah,
just ignorant bullies almost. So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
realistically, you're not sympathizing with Bianca or Rhea here. I mean, Rhea to an
No,
extent because she got screwed out of the title, but you're
yeah.
really feeling bad for Io because she's the one that's like, I'm just in the middle of this.
And she's
And
the one that's got the belt.
exactly. It's like, so it's like, and I'm going to say this right now, that women's triple threat should have main evented night one. And then the Punk Roman Seth match should have main evented night two. Because I know people make the argument, well, the Cody Cena. No, I don't want to hear it. The Cody Cena build, let's call it for what it was. It was bad. At least the Bianca, Io and Rhea feud had somewhat of a story, and it actually had a solid story, mind you, where it's, you have Io who's like, hey, I'm the champion. Why are you overlooking me? And then you have Bianca and Rhea going, oh, well, who's basically like, who's the bigger star? I mean, bada bing, bada boom. You have a solid story, and then the Roman Punk and Seth match that wrote itself. It's like, let's call it for what it was. Out of all the matches that really delivered at WrestleMania this year, that women's triple threat really delivered. And the fact that the women got shafted out of a main event again, let's call it
Yeah.
for what it is. I think it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it is, and it was a damn near perfect match. I don't know
Yeah.
how long it took them to set that up and practice, but man, that it was flawless. Just about, it was great.
So that's my rant. The women deserve better, and they should main event next year.
Yeah,
And I don't want to
yeah.
hear anybody make any more excuses because
As,
that
as long as it's not Becky.
yeah. Even then, depending on what they do with her, maybe. But I'm telling you right now, like the fact These three did not main event, and the fucking main event of night 2 did, and what we got, shameful, absolutely
Yeah.
shameful. And before we get into that really angry rant, so then you had the Randy Orton Open Challenge, and we're thinking, okay, it's going to be Rusev or Miro, or it's going to be Nick Aldis. Well, they decided to throw us a curveball and have it Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I was hoping for Aleister Black.
He'll be here tonight.
Yeah, it was Joe Hendry, and I was like, oh, it's Joe Hendry. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom.
And then just when he got back, the match was over.
Yeah, it was.
You know,
it was just an RKO. That's all.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of a match. I'll say this: I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it buries TNA," or it's a bad look for him. Look,
no.
Joe Hendry got one of the biggest pops the entire weekend,
and the most exposure he ever had.
Exactly. So, and you know what? Joe Hendry's spoken positively about it. He's like, "Look, at the end of the day, it's WrestleMania. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, he got merch out of it. Like, he's probably making a pretty good chunk of change on that. Like, he's getting great reactions from the crowd. And it gives TNA a lot of great exposure, too, because you put their world champion on your show or your biggest show of the year. It's like, and let's call it for what it is. With the way WrestleMania was going, did we really want a 15, 20-minute match? No.
But instead of Joe, I would have called up Zach. I would have got Zack Ryder instead. But
what can you do, I guess?
Yeah.
But then night 2, unfortunately, takes a turn for the worst because AJ Styles lost to the Forest Man. Oh God.
Oh, okay.
Why would you do this?
Dude, he's going to be world champion at some point here.
Dude, if he becomes world champion, I will not watch. No way, no how. That will be the no review. I refuse. No more wrestling shows. We'll just do like a fucking retro wrestling review show after that. Fuck that. No way. No how. Because let me tell you, that match with AJ was awful. Like, it was not very good. It was dull. Like, the fact AJ could, and see, that's another thing too. Like, as much as I don't like Logan Paul, I will say him and AJ on paper sounded like an interesting match in theory. But when you got to the actual match itself, good God, it was awful. I mean, they literally tried to do like a Styles, like Logan Paul stole the Styles Clash and do a spot like that, and then they brought in Karrion Kross. I'm just like, holy fuck, this sucks. And I love Karrion Kross too, and Karrion Kross is getting a lot of, like, after that pipe bomb he did, holy man, selling merch like hotcakes right now.
I think I might have slept through that match because I don't remember Karrion Kross at all. So I think I might have dozed off, or I was getting something to eat at the time. So I don't remember that. So yeah, I don't think I saw that match.
You did not miss anything because it was not very good.
Okay.
There's nothing to say. I don't even want to say anything more because justice for AJ Styles and fuck Logan Paul.
No, I was in the kitchen. I was fixing a ham sandwich on an onion bun. I had a slice of pineapple on there and Swiss cheese, spicy mustard, and mayonnaise. I might have had a few pickles on there. That's exactly where I was.
You had me there up until you put the pineapple on there. Then I was just like,
hey, pineapple and ham, man. Pineapple and ham. That's a good combo.
Fair enough. And then you had the Lyra Valkyria, Becky, and then whoever versus Raquel Rodriguez, and then Becky with justice for Bayley. Why?
God damn it!
What was the point of all that?
She did an interview the other day. It might have been today. I think it was released today, where she's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Everybody says I'm one of the best there. I have a good relationship with AAA. She says I'm one of the best, and I have a good relationship with Bruce Pritchard. they don't use me, and I think she's going to join Mercedes and AEW for it's all said and done. I think if she does, good for her, because
Yeah.
I mean they'll offer her a lot more than what WWE is, and I think I don't understand it because she lost weight, she improved her image over the last few months. She looks phenomenal. She's been doing like extracurricular stuff in the NBA All Star stuff and playing the NBA stuff, and she looks great. And they're not using her.
No, and it's a damn shame. I mean, the fact that you went from last year almost like being the co-main event of night 2 and winning the women's title to not even being featured on WrestleMania whatsoever for no reason, it seems like.
Well, it's just because Becky. Just
Yeah.
because Becky said, "Hey, let me come back. Let me come back and win the title, and then the next night we'll lose them or whatever, and I'll turn on Valkyria." And they maybe she's going to join Seth and him with Paul Heyman, so they had to fast track that to where she turned heel. So I don't know.
It's possible, but it's just at the same time, it's like, okay, Becky's back, cool, but why does she have to come back like that?
Yeah.
There are so many better ways you could have brought her back. Like, you could have maybe brought her in to screw Lyra and Bailey out of the belts or something, or like she does something where she takes out Liv and then she takes out Lyra or something. Like, there's so many different ways you could have done it without having to sacrifice Bailey, because that was stupid. Like, I would understand if it was one thing if Bailey got hurt or something, and then like, okay, oh shit, we got to find a replacement. All right, Becky, you're going to be the replacement. But the fact that you just took Bailey out to bring Becky back in, I thought was very shitty and very scummy. Like, what the fuck? There was no point.
They should have made room for they should have had Becky come back from the beginning in that match and just had Bailey versus Chelsea Green or something at WrestleMania.
Or something. Like anything.
Yeah.
Anything that just was not that, because and not to mention the match itself wasn't anything to write home about either. Like, it was just kind of like a paint by numbers okay match at best. But it was just like, why? Like, it was and especially now that they just dropped the belts one day after winning them, it makes you wonder what the fuck was the point of that? You know what I mean? It's like, it was lame, dumb.
Yeah.
And by the way, remember that Lyra Valkyria is the women's intercontinental champion? Oh, you don't know?
Yeah.
Oh, well, gee, I wonder why.
People don't like her for some reason. I mean, they say she's like a nepo superstar because of Becky, and they were actually booing her when she was getting beat up. They were like cheering Becky. They were like, one more time, and then Becky comes in and she attacks her one more time.
Which is a shame, because Lyra, she's good. I like Lyra. It's just bullshit. A lot of bullshit. And speaking of bullshit, then we get to the main event. This is where the main source of our fucking anger is. And that's Cody Rhodes versus the little piss baby, cry baby, whatever the fuck John Cena is this week. Fun fact, Pat McAfee spoiled the ending of this match.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because he was plugging the McAfee show or something, and he spoiled the main event, and it's like, what the fuck? Why? You dick.
Oh, he said John Cena was coming on the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. We had so many weeks of build-up. We had, like the song said, Walker, we had 6 weeks of build-up. John Cena barely raised the needle or moved the needle for delivering a decent promo through all those weeks. But then the next night on Raw, after he won the title, he cuts one of the best promos and best segments I've seen in ages. It was incredible, and I don't get it. I think he purposely tried to bury. I think everybody tried to bury Cody in just that main event. I don't understand it, because he put forth no effort before that show, and then the next night on Raw, great stuff. I don't understand it.
So this is gonna be the only like real match we're gonna talk about, like the build to, and then the match, and then because the build to this match just sucked because even if you take The Rock out of it, Cena's promos leading up to this, like those first 2 weeks, it was like a nothing burger almost.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't really do much. Like it's not until the third week where it's like, oh, you got a pretty good promo out of him against Cody, and then you had and then he doesn't show up for 2 weeks leading up to WrestleMania. He's on the go home show of SmackDown. Again, it's just kind of the same promo that he did, and then that was it. And then he gets Crossroad. He took the Crossroads 2 times in a row, so you're thinking, all right, Cena's going over, because it's like, well, if the guy's getting Crossroads 2 times, or he's taking the finish before the pay-per-view, he's definitely winning the match, because, if Cody beats Cena after that, then it's like, oh, well, then Cody's picture cheeky perfect. So the build-up was just lame. Like, personally, I think me and Rooms, we said, like, the build-up would have been much better if Cena didn't turn heel. If Cena did not turn heel, and it was just Cena being like, hey, Cody, I know you're the champion. I know you're the quote-unquote face of the company, but until you beat me, even though everybody else has beaten me, then, you're not the guy. And then the whole time, Cena is also desperate to win that 17th world title, to the point where it's like, oh, is he going to turn heel? Is he desperate? And, like, there would be some back and forth, some nice exchanges there. And there's some of that tension, like, oh, is he going to turn heel and is he not? And then you could have had Cena turn heel, but you could have had him turn heel at WrestleMania, where it's like he's so desperate to win because he hasn't won in so long, and this is like his last main event of WrestleMania, and just like there's that tension there there would have been better build up, but instead they went about it in the worst way possible.
Yep.
Again, if you factor The Rock out of it, it still does not work because it's just Cena doing what Cena always does, and it's just blah.
But it should have worked though. Like the song said, you have the greatest of all time. That's what they call him. He's 17-time world champion. That was before the match, but he should have been able to carry Rhodes, and Rhodes should have been able to carry Cena because he's the heir apparent. And neither could carry each other, and it was terrible. It was a clunker of a match, and I think there was. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there one spot in the match where Cody refused to use a weapon or something on Cena?
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that because
okay. Yes, this is a point of contention that I want to bring up because, oh my God, this is the dude that was going to smack AJ Styles upside the head with ring steps in a match last year. What the?
Before I get to that real quick, Cody came out with an Iron Man helmet, pretty much, like where it had like the.
That was so silly.
It's silly, but I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And John Cena came out, and he was just like, I just don't really want to be here. Fuck it, let's just get this over with. Like he's walking down the ring, he puts a towel behind his head, and he comes out like the really bland Trons, which admittedly I did kind of laugh at that because it's like, okay, I get what they're going for there. And then the bell rang. Oh my God. It was the most slowest, most boring match I have ever watched in my life. And look, I don't want to hear the excuse, oh, but Cena's here to ruin wrestling. No. There was a way to do it without it being boring as fuck, and oh my God, it was boring as fuck.
They were sitting there doing those slow-ass punch routines, and Cena's like, again. He's yelling the spot. He's like, again, hit me again. And then Cody would hit him, and he goes, again.
And that's another thing, too. Cena was spot calling, and you could hear him spot calling. It's like, dude, for the love of God, just be quiet, please. Like, we know it's a work. Can you please shut up? Like, and when he took those Cody cutters too, Cena kept landing on his knees, and I'm like, oh my God, they looked awful. Of course, leave it to Cena to make it look bad.
He knows a lot of stuff. Cody knows a lot of stuff. Each of them knows a lot of stuff, and it just it didn't get the effect it was supposed to.
No,
none of the times that they did it. Like you see no cells all the time back in WCW where Macho Man and Hogan wrestling and they'll pop up and the crowd goes wild, but the crowd wasn't into it. They didn't perform well. It was just a clusterfuck.
No, the crowd was cheering for Cena more than Cody.
Yeah, wow.
Fickle fans. And then the match did something that I fucking hate, and that's when it becomes a finisher spam fest.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, this match gave me flashbacks to Roman and Brock at 34, where it was a finisher spam fest.
These two make me miss, and I like Brock, but these two make me miss Brock even more than I already do. These, man, I just don't get the hate for Brock before the allegations, but these two, Brock was so much better than either one of these guys. This was just a bad all around. Of course, I don't like Cena. I never liked Cena, and I'm kind of lukewarm on Rhodes, but man.
Yeah, it was not very. It just wasn't good. And then, of course, just as when the match you just think could not get any worse. Here comes Travis Scott taking 5 minutes to go to the ring.
Motherfucker thinks he's Undertaker.
Yeah, he must have thought. And like Cena and Cody are sitting there, like, what do we do? What do we do here? And then it's like, and then he takes like 5-10 minutes. Then there's like a bunch of ref bumps because sure, why not? Then Travis Scott takes a crossroads, and then the belt comes into the ring, and Cody's like, "Oh, should I hit Cena with the belt?" And then Cody's like, I don't know if I should, because even though the same guy, like you said, was going to kill AJ Styles with steel steps, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And if you think about it, Cena already hit him over the head with the belt, like at Elimination Chamber. So realistically, it's an eye for an eye, motherfucker. So, fuck it. Like, nobody would boo you. Like, you wouldn't even turn heel. It'd just be like, okay, that makes sense. Fuck it, get your revenge. But, of course, Cody just had to be stupid, like every babyface is. And he drops the belt. And then, of course, dick kick city, shot with the belt. And you're thinking, okay, the ref's down. It's going to take a bit. So Cody's going to kick out, right? 1, 2, and just when you expect the kick out, 3. That was it. And at first, when I saw it, I was just mildly confused because I'm like, wait a minute. Why? Why was that the finish? Out of all the finishes you could have done, that was the worst finish you could have done. And oh my God.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but your assessment of the match, I feel that is a clickbait assessment, and I'm going to have to ask you to move along because that's a clickbait assessment of the match.
What, the whole belt shot to the face, or
you didn't see the after match media scrum with Cena?
No. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Okay. I was about to say, I was like, wait, what the fuck? What is he talking about?
After the match, he's backstage, and everybody's trying to ask him a question. He's like, I'm sorry, but you should be ashamed of yourself. That is I feel that's a clickbait question, and I'm going to have to not answer that. The next question, and then he would go do the same routine with everybody there. And finally he left.
Oh man, it just, oh boy, and also too, just the finish also doesn't make any sense because Cody, who last year, kicked out of so many finishers, all these interferences, can't kick out to a kick to the dick and a belt shot to the face.
Well, I mean, it was the year before he did the same thing. He was kicking out of stuff,
it's so, like, this does not make sense. And Cena gets to 17, but it's done in the most lame way possible, so now no one cares. It's like, the fuck?
Man, I tell you what, they ain't gonna do it, but I really hope Randy sticks around to where they can get him up and over 17. That would be nice.
Get him to 18, and then fuck it.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Or find somebody to let Ric Flair do 2 finger pokes of doom back to back.
Just do that too or something. It just wasn't good. That main event was awful. Like it, and you know what? It's again. I think you said it best, Shifty. Like it's Cody at this point should be able to at least get a solid match at a scene. I'm not saying it was going to be like a 5-star in-ring classic, but I was at least hoping for something decent. But I don't care if it was intentional or not. That was awful. You do not end WrestleMania like that. That's lame.
Did Cody just recently sign for another 5 years?
I think so.
Yeah, boy, I don't know if I would have done that if I knew what was coming.
And I know he's taking a break or he's taking a vacation, but at the same time, it's just like it was such a lame duck finish. Like even if you weren't gonna bring The Rock in, there was a better finish you could have done. You could have still had the belt shot to the face, and Cena, Cody could have kicked out of that, and then Cena could have hit him with like 2 or 3 A's after that and won. Okay, fine. I'm not saying I would have been happy with it, but I would have been like, okay, fine, whatever. You at least make Cody look strong in defeat somewhat, and then that makes the rematch. Okay, you're going to do the rematch later down the road. But no, again, you come back to this finish. It's like Cena makes Cody look stupid. He makes Cody look bad, and it made everything up to this point pointless because Cody lost in a lame duck way. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
So
and then now Cena says that he's going to retire with the belt. They've already removed the legacy of the Universal title from WWE.com. So that's kaput now. So he says he's going to take the lineage of the WWE Championship. It's over. He says when he leaves, regardless if he loses the belt or whatever, yeah, it's over with. They're going to reboot. They're going to reboot after he's gone.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Like, more than likely, they're going to have the belt they're probably going to have Cody win it back from him or something, like, because they're not going to have Cena retire with the belt. But
if they reboot, they might. You don't know, because he said he was adamant. He said, "I'm going this whole tour of his is he's going to ruin professional wrestling. He's going to do everything it takes to ruin professional wrestling."
I mean, he already did that. I mean, he literally after that main event, he's ruined pro wrestling. So you already achieved your job. So you can retire now. It's like I don't know. It just as a whole, this WrestleMania sucked. I think we called it on the show that we weren't excited for WrestleMania. I think we were at least willing to give it a chance because I think last year was kind of the same thing, but it actually turned out to be pretty good. This year, no, this was not good at all. Like even like the matches we liked, that's not enough to save the show. I mean, You had a very lackluster night one. You had a pretty good start to night two, and then the main event ruins that. As a whole, WrestleMania 41 as a complete package, wow, not very good. It was. Now, is it the worst WrestleMania of all time? No. I wouldn't go that far. But it's
the worst main event, maybe.
Yeah, probably it's up. The worst main event's probably up there. Worst WrestleMania show of all time? No. I could name worse WrestleManias than this, like 27, 32, we'll throw 9 in there, 11. Like there's worse manias than 41, but it's not good. It's more of a meme WrestleMania, if anything.
Yeah.
Like, because, and again, it would have been better, honestly, if you main evented WrestleMania 41 with the women's triple threat and then the men's triple threats. Those should have been your 2 main events for both nights. And I never want to hear the excuse of, the women shouldn't, the women can't main event because no. I don't care. The women, for the most part, every WrestleMania have delivered over the guys. So you know what? They deserve the main event just as much as they do, and they should at least main event night 1 or night 2 next year, because
Yeah.
that is absolutely fucking shameful. The fact that you ended WrestleMania with Cody and Cena in one of the worst main events I've ever, in one of the worst WrestleMania main events I've seen, and you had the women's triple threat, which opens shall be one of the best matches of the weekend. Shameful.
Yeah.
Utterly
Yeah.
shameful.
Next year, it's got to be good because they're going back to New Orleans, and those were pretty good shows.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, now looking back, I mean, I know there's probably a better way to do it, but they probably need to go back to just one night, because I'm sorry, the 2-night format just doesn't work.
Oh, they're not going to do that, especially with SummerSlam
No.
2 nights.
No, it's not going to change anytime soon. But in hindsight, like, I think the 2-night thing worked at first because of COVID, but also WrestleManias at that time were just so damn long. But I understand there's a lot of talent, and I understand there's a lot of titles, and I understand all that. But at the same time, there's a way to do a WrestleMania show that's not 4 or 5 hours. Because I'm sorry, but this WrestleMania was just flat out bled ridiculous.
And I wouldn't doubt the Royal Rumble at some point is going to be 2 nights.
I really hope not. Like, not every pay-per-view needs to be 2 nights.
They don't, but I can see the Royal Rumble being
It
the other
could.
one.
It could. I hope not.
I would think I would rather have that be 2 nights than SummerSlam.
Yeah. I would hope, but it wasn't a good it just wasn't a good show, guys. I'm sorry. I know there's probably some people that are like, "Oh, it was good." No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, even worse. What happened after WrestleMania? the roast.
Oh God, the roast. Apparently, a lot of people went, or a lot of the wrestlers that went or participated are like really pissed off or something. And
Yeah, you wow, you didn't read any of the synopses of any of the jokes, did you?
no,
Oh, yeah, you need to do that.
I know like Nia Jax said something about Cody gargling balls or whatever, and
Well, she said a lot of stuff. She said some stuff about Charlotte, which was kind of backstabby, and Heyman said a lot of racist stuff, and then he kind of made a crack about Maurice having a life-saving hysterectomy. He made a joke about that, which was a super low blow, and I don't even know why he would even have Maurice's name in his mouth, because she's not an on-air talent anymore. A lot of people are pissed, and WWE is so embarrassed about what was said that they're trying to pull copies of it, audio copies of it, off the internet. But you can't really do that because people keeps on posting them. It keeps on posting them. It keeps on posting them.
yeah,
It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was racist. It was sexist. It was. I mean, look. A good roast is a good roast, but this was not a good roast. I mean, this was just people out there just airing grievances. It wasn't. They weren't talking about their friends and cracking jokes. They were actually talking shit on people they don't like. And then some of the guys that were up there, they had like some comedians that didn't even know the wrestlers' names. They were getting the names wrong, and they were trying to cut jokes on them, and they just met them like backstage. So they're quickly writing down jokes to tell. It was a mess.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I know I've heard a little bit about it, and yeah, I heard it wasn't good, and it's just not a good. It's not a good look for the company when you're doing shit like this. It's like, why? What was the goal to achieve here?
I don't know. They've had a rough week in that department.
Yeah, it's been a rough week for them in general, and that was just almost like the fuck, that was pretty much just the icing on the shit cake almost, because it just wasn't good.
I think this is the second time they've had a roast with this guy. I don't really know the comedian, but the last time they had one, and Ric Flair was there, and he had to leave because they said something about his son that had, the one that had passed away, and he got up and left, and that was a shit show. I didn't think that they would do another one after that, but yeah. And this is an official WWE one, so somebody, man.
It's just, man, this company is just ass backwards right now, and making choices like this isn't helping.
It's crazy too, and Vince is not running the show, and this stuff is happening. What the hell?
Yeah, remember when we said, "Oh, Vince isn't running the show, and things would be better"? Well, it's 2025, and we're back, and we're almost back to where we started. It's like, what the hell are we doing?
I don't know.
It's like the WWE's falling off, NXT somehow getting better. It's like, what the fuck is happening? What timeline am I living in? Are we back in the same timeline? Is the timeline correcting itself? Like, for the love of, it's like, please, someone help me understand what timeline we're living in, because NXT's better. What?
I'm going to have to go call Loki.
Yeah, we might have to call Loki on this one, because I'm baffled. Because I'm in shock.
Yeah, Loki, the Asgardian guy, not the wrestler.
Yeah, no, not Loki the wrestler. Loki the god guy. We'll just go up to him and say, hey, are we back in the right timeline? Is NXT still good? Oh yeah, NXT is great. WWE is going on the shitter, and I'm like, oh okay, yeah. That's the right timeline. Man, what a shitty WrestleMania. What a boring WrestleMania. What a disappointing WrestleMania both nights. It's like, good God. I genuinely, the more I think about this show, the worse it gets, because it's just like, why? How could you, like, these guys make a lot of brain dead These guys have made a lot of brain dead choices. It's just, man. And I before we end this, I am going to address the whole Rock thing. Look, during the rant, I was very upset at the Rock, because the Rock, let's call it for what it is. The Rock did show up at Elimination Chamber, and that was it. He didn't show up for the rest of the build. And I'm still going to stand by my belief that, if you're going to be involved somewhat in the build, you could do a little more to contribute to the story. But that being said, it's not just the Rock. Trust me, the Rock isn't blameless here, but there are a lot of other people to blame, and Cena, Triple H, and Cody they're big parts of it. And I even make the argument, like, Ari Emanuel, who's running TKO, is to blame, because apparently in the interview The Rock gave, he was like, yeah, I wasn't going to show up, but then they told me that the ticket sales were down for Elimination Chamber, so I was like, oh, well, okay, I'll make an appearance.
See?
Now, again, I am too hard. Now, but the thing is, it's like, why are we getting The Rock involved here into something that really didn't need him? It just feels, there's just a lot of stuff going on right now that it's just like, it feels like it's just a mess creatively right now, because there's a lot of hands in the pot. It's not like one person. It feels like there's other people being like, hey, no, you need to do this, you need to do that. And look at what happened to WrestleMania. It's a mess.
And if they don't have confidence in Cody, find somebody that they do, be it Braun, be it, I don't know who, but Braun, maybe Alistair. I don't know. But find somebody that you think that the people will like. But like you said, they're fickle. They'll turn on somebody on a dime.
Yes.
So.
They just did that with Cody. They just, they were booing him at WrestleMania for what?
Yeah.
It's like, for the same people who are like, oh, finish his story, and now you're like, oh, fuck this guy, we want Cena to win. It's like, we're back to where we started. It's exactly the same problem.
Should never have happened last year. It should never have happened. It should have been Rock versus Reigns. Rock would have went off on his merry way, and then you could have done the finish the story last fall, and then whatever. at least you wouldn't be blaming Rock for stuff because he'd be out of the picture.
And it's just it's just a mess. This whole build to WrestleMania was a mess. The WrestleMania itself was a mess. The aftermath, apparently Raw was really good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was great.
It's just I just don't. It's ass backwards right now, and it's a shame. It really is a shame because
and in 2 weeks, 2
2 weeks.
Backrash, 2 weeks.
The fact that it's backlash is like 2 weeks from now. I think the way they placed WrestleMania this year too didn't help either because the build it felt like it went so long.
When is WrestleMania next year?
That's a great question. WrestleMania next year
I hope it's not on. It better not be on Easter weekend again.
Oh, let's see. It takes place on, drum roll please. It is going to take place on April 11th and April 12th.
And when is Easter in 2026?
Let's see here.
Because I was doing way too much cooking the last weekend, and I was like dead tired for the show.
Let's see here. It seems like Easter 2026 will be April 5th.
Okay, cool. Wow, that's early. Okay, yeah, cool. Not the same weekend.
So okay, you know what? Not Easter weekend this time around. So okay, better. At the same time, what the fuck?
Hopefully they get their act together next year. Like I said, it's in New Orleans, and they've had decent WrestleManias. I just hope Daniel Bryan's able to come back over to WWE by then. I don't know how long his contract is left with AEW, but it would be nice if they could put him in the Hall of Fame next year, and he could do something.
I know they said they did say that oh boy, I'm losing my train of thought here. Yeah, I lost it.
Something about Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan. I think they said because he wasn't under contract with AEW, he could leave whenever he wants, pretty much. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh, maybe if is he healthy? Is what's going on for him? Is he retired or?
It said he was temporarily retired, but I think it seems like that because I read somewhere that he might be done.
Oh.
But it's like a temporary retirement, I think.
It would be nice if he did retire, he'd come back like last match at New Orleans, where the Yes Movement had its big thing, and that'd be cool. But if it's not in the cards, at least he could maybe just go in the Hall of Fame next year.
Possibly. So I think that wraps it up for tonight, I think. Unless there was something.
It closes the book on WrestleMania 41.
Oh, thank God. Next week we'll probably talk about some news if there's something there. I think that wraps it up.
The week after we have a prediction show.
I know it's crazy. So I mean,
I got to get my title back.
Will I be a transitional champion here? Well,
Or
we'll find
I need
out.
to rig it so Rome's can get in.
No, Rome's has the. We got no. It's Rome's story. He's got to finish the story.
Well, he's got to be here to finish the story.
That's his character arc.
Oh, he's seen it this week. He's taken the week off.
Yeah, he saw WrestleMania 41 and he was just absolutely appalled.
Yeah, I would be too. I mean, hell, I am.
So
I mean, what am I
appalled.
saying? I would be too.
I know we both are. I think. We were just in shock. Really, we were just like, "Wow, that was awful."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good God,
It was not awesome.
Yeah, it was not awesome indeed.
Yeah.
All right, Shifty, where can they find you at?
Well, you can find me here, and you can find me on X as ShiftyGism. That's Shifty GISM. You may not agree with things I say or post, and you may not like the action figures I buy and I show off. But hey, you can still check out my X account and whatever. And then on Thursday nights on either Vinny Tartamella Art or Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective on their YouTube channels, they have the old school toy show. I done forgot the name of the show. Don't tell anybody. But for about 3 hours we sit around. We just talk about toys and Todd McFarlane figures and all that good stuff. And we go back and dig into like the decades past worth of toys from the 60s, 70s, 80s. All them good toys back then. It's a fun show. Also, this Sunday night for the next 4 weeks, we're going to be getting back together on Chris Knight's The Real Review 3000 and Chaos Central for the Andor Roundtable, and we're actually dragging. We may be dragging Austin Ear back into the mix. He's coming back to the glorious Star Wars fandom to watch Andor maybe, and we'll be doing a roundtable for that. And this summer, it just short here pretty soon. Chris is going to get the Name That Tune back up and running. So if you can name tunes and you want to be on the show, just give me a holler or give Chris a holler, and we'll get you on up on the show because we need contestants.
Very cool, very cool. I'm glad to see Chris is back. I'm glad to hear that his computer is back up and running.
Yep. Also, he's getting the weekend review back up. So game time, like Jackbox Games, we'll be playing those pretty soon on Sunday nights.
The weekly wrap up making a reappearance after a lengthy absence,
and maybe the Rumble too. Maybe the Rumble too.
Oh my! I am a decorated champion in the Rumble, so.
Yeah, we never finished that last season.
Would we just have to reboot that?
I think we're going to have to finish it. We only got halfway through it, and we did a lot of work for that first half of the season. So we're probably going to have to finish it.
Very true.
Well, I mean, I didn't do a lot of work. He did, but I was guest judged like a few times. So, and that's a lot of work into itself because you gotta apply scores to everybody's answers and stuff and all that jazz. And yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, it seems like I'm pipping out Chris more than I am myself tonight. But I mean, he's been gone for like 2 years. I mean, his grand return is coming, folks.
After so long, after his massive exodus, he's returned.
Yeah, but hey, Austinator, hey, Austinator, hey, Austinator. Yes. Where can they find you? Where can they find you?
Well, you could find me here on my channel for good old Wrasslin every Fridays, and when me and Angry Cabbers do it, we do a movie review series show. We last one we did was Texas Chainsaw 2. The next episode eventually will be Texas Chainsaw 3. And then you know, you can find me on Storm Station on Sundays. Yes, just like Shifty said, you can find me on the Andor Roundtable.
Because you love
Where
Star Wars.
I
You
know
love
as I'm an avid lover of Star Wars, as you can tell in the enthusiasm in my voice. I am begrudgingly coming back, but only because you know Chris, you know, is back. So you know, fuck it. You know, I'm just gonna say screw it. I'm gonna wing it.
Yeah.
I'll
He's gonna
watch
watch.
it.
He's gonna watch 12 hours of Star Wars just for Chris.
12 hours.
Yeah, it's 3 hours each week for the next 4 weeks.
Holy fuck. I don't think I'm gonna survive this experience.
I'm
Th-
sorry,
This
but
this might be the thing that eventually causes me to go insane.
well, I mean, you're the one that said, "Hey, I'll do it."
No, yeah, begrudgingly. I'm not doing. I'm not. I really don't. Realistically, I'm not doing this because I like Star Wars. I'm just doing it because Chris Knight's coming back. You know, if anybody else invited me, I just tell them no. There's no way. You'd have to pay me to watch 3 hours of Star Wars nowadays. Like, you know, back then maybe, but now I'm like, ugh, God,
Now
really? Do
you're
I gotta
like,
watch this?
you get nothing.
You get nothing. It's
Yeah,
like this franchise has been awful to me.
I still like it.
I'm like, this is a toxic relationship. This franchise to me is a toxic relationship. God, yeah. So just just check it out when we do it because oh God, I won't survive. You can find me on the Hangouts where we're probably gonna have to talk about Andor on the Hangouts. So I guess I gotta watch it for that too. You hear that, guy Scar? I'm watching Star Wars, but I'm only doing it because I'm doing it for the Chris Knight's channel. If it was just for your channel, guy Scar, I love you, but I wouldn't do that even with my worst enemy. Like I wouldn't do it. It's no. And apparently Shifty said it's the worst arc so far, so I know I probably will 100% hate it. So you know, enjoy my time on the roundtable, guys, because let me tell you, yeah, as you can tell, I'm gonna be the biggest troll on that panel. I'm not gonna give a shit. Yeah, so
You
check me
won't be
out
the biggest
there.
troll. There's no way you're going to be the biggest troll because Anzo and Danny, they've already out trolled you to where you could never pass them in the trolling for Andor. So
Okay, so is it just gonna be me, you, Dandelion, and Chris? Because
yeah, unless they can reach Nindroid and oh God, I forgot his name. The other guy that was on there with us last time. I hate that I forgot his name. Yeah.
Wait, who was on the? Because I on the Andor round table last time. I was, right?
I think so.
Have I gone insane?
I think you quit before Bad Batch season 3. I don't know.
Hold on. I quit after Ahsoka. Hold up. Gotta look. God damn it, Chris. All right. I suspect it's either on the Real Review 3000 or the Weekly Wrap or the Chaos Central. Oh my God, it hasn't streamed over a year. What the hell?
It was Positive Candor. Yeah, we
Oh yeah, that's right. It is Positive Candor. Yes.
I haven't heard from him for a while, so that's why I forgot his name.
Wow. We're sorry, Positive Candor. We didn't mean to forget you.
Yeah, I mean it's been ages since we talked, since we've been on podcasts together. So I mean it's been like 2 years.
We're very rusty.
And I'm 45 years old. Austin can attest to it. I have brain farts all the time. I can't remember Mickey James's name. I always have to see that chick that's married to Nick Aldis, the country music singer. Who is it?
I have no idea.
Mickey James.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, hang on. It is 100% gonna be on Chaos Central. Hold on.
You're kind of muffled.
Ain't I always muffled? Because I think the only person who does really stuff on Chaos Central now is Anzo, I think.
Yeah. And Danny, sometimes, I think. I don't know. I'm not on YouTube much anymore, so.
Chaos
Except when I
Central,
am.
special editions. I'm glad to see Book of Boba Fett has a playlist on Chaos Central, but
Hey,
gosh,
Boba Fett
darn it.
was
Where
okay,
is it?
except for. Boba Fett was
I
all
would
right.
disagree on that one. I don't know about that one, Chief.
No, I mean, no, look, hey, the reason why it went off track in season 3 of Mando went off track because supposedly Hasbro came in and they threw their weight around. They're like, no, you have to keep Grogu in the mix. You got to return him because he sells figures. We need Grogu back. And they were like, okay. And they switched the story.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Last time it was me, you, Chris, Ninjoid, and Positive Candor.
Yeah.
And was Dandelion there? I don't know.
Dandelion?
No, it doesn't seem like she was there.
She might have been. There was one where she joined us and then she dipped. I think that might have been a Bad Batch, and then she came back.
It might
and
have.
she did.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh wait, never mind. It is in a playlist. I'm wrong because Chris put all the roundtables in one playlist.
Oh.
Chris, why do you do that? Chris, why? It's fine. It's fine. I'm going crazy, I think.
Yeah, I need to check the replay on this. I got to see if you're muffled or if it's my headphones. Because I'm going to buy new headphones.
If I'm muffled, I'm muffled. Fuck it. Who cares?
You're good. You're good now. You're good now. What'd you do? You're good now. What happened?
I have no idea.
You do? Okay, you're talking good now. You're good.
Something's happened. I don't know. I don't care. We're ending it anyway.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on either. I think we need to end this before it gets crazy. So, you know what? Thank you guys for watching. This is the Osinator and Shifty signing out. We were going to end it with the That's Awesome clip, but this show was not awesome. WrestleMania was not awesome. It doesn't deserve an awesome.
Yeah, no. The show was not awesome, but that song was awesome.
You know what? We're gonna just, you know what? I think we'll just end it off with just the song playing.
Oh my god! We're gonna play this song twice. Hell yes! This song's gonna get me a Grammy, maybe an Emmy, also a Tony.
This will give Suno a granny probably.
Hell yeah! This is a Shifty original.
WrestleMania wasn't his fault. The people to blame are quite obvious. You got the so-called greatest of all time, the 17-time world champion, the guy that carried the company on his back for a decade. Then you got his quote-unquote spiritual.
Always remember, guys, our thoughts do not reflect what other people think.
Mr. Popularity, despite getting booed.
But yeah, thank you for watching. WrestleMania was not awesome.
Top Booker, Hall of Fame. They were given 6 weeks to come up with a good finish. They shouldn't need The Rock. They should be more than capable themselves. But everyone still wants to give Dwayne hell. was robbed of his match with Roman, a match that now may never take place, just so they could put a smile on Cody's face. And then Cena exposed himself, not able to carry Rhodes. He needed some overrated rapper no one knows. But hey, let's blame Rock. Sure, he could have appeared, but just because he didn't, he doesn't deserve the campaign smear. You had three of the biggest names in the business, and they absolutely failed. They all stink, and Rock was the one who didn't smell. If you catch the aroma of what I'm cooking, there should have been way better booking.